everybody, and welcome back to Business Over Breakfast. My name is Ben Barber.
Lori Chitari here with Ben. Ben,
Oh,
it's so good to see you.
you too. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We took a little summer break and now we come back with some cool new branding.
Absolutely.
How do you like it?
Cheers. I love it. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, you got a good coffee cup.
I do have a good coffee.
I always have the same cup. I got to tell you, this morning I was getting ready thinking, I really need to start getting better coffee cups. And coffee is like the word of the day today.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have two new coffee mugs. Both of them I bought specifically for this show. This is my friend Brian Saviano, who is the biggest celebrity in our house. He is a content creator from Massachusetts that makes family-friendly YouTube and Twitch streams for kids about video games
Oh,
and Legos.
cool.
And yeah, so Braden discovered him like 2 or 3 years ago. And then I interviewed him right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Wow.
And now we're really good friends. So that's awesome. And
That's
also
great.
shout out to my friend Dustin, who runs Costanzagrams, which, if you love Seinfeld, is the most hilarious Instagram and Facebook feed to follow. Costanzagrams. Dustin got married over the weekend, so congratulations,
Oh,
Dustin.
that's so great.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Dustin.
How are you? You went on a road trip with your daughter.
Oh man, yeah,
It's
I
been a
went on a
while.
road trip. I did Austin to San Fran, moved her into a new apartment in San Fran, dropped a big shelf on my foot and fractured a bone. So, but whatever. Then came back and went to see my son in Portland, Maine. So now my kids are just like on either side of the United States here.
At least they're relatively close to each other.
Yeah. No, he's in Portland,
Oh, you said
Maine, and
Portland, Maine.
yeah, he's in
Oh,
Portland,
okay.
Maine.
No,
She's
so
in
they are
San
on the
Francisco.
opposite. Yeah,
Yeah, we got to
okay.
pull her back over to the East Coast now. Yeah. I don't have any exciting story about my coffee mug. It's I'm really going to start. I looked around and I think I just need to start getting coffee mugs. So, yeah, get
Do we
some
have a
coffee
shop?
mugs up on Shop Local.
Yeah,
Will ya?
that's what I was about to ask. So, uh, before we bring on our guests, I do want to ask, how was the launch of the marketplace for
Woo.
shoplocalrhodeisland.com?
Okay. Well, it's crazy. We haven't spoken in so long. So we officially launched the marketplace. It is public and we have 200 products up on the site right now. Our goal as a team this month is to get 1,000 products up onto the site. And that's a big goal. We know it. And we are just making every effort every day to get new products up. We're doing a really cool back to school special right now. And if you scroll down on the homepage, you'll see that we are highlighting, keep going, our back to school supply companies. So if you're looking for school supplies, these are the companies that are in our member directory right now. And we're going to reach out to them to start getting some of their products up on the site.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're doing some back to school, and then in September we have Fashion Week coming up and Design Week coming up. So we're really trying to like boost the local economy here through the internet.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And today's guest is one of the members of Shop Local Rhode Island. Why don't you take it away?
Yeah, I can't say enough wonderful things about today's guest, but I must say we are just meeting face to face through the digital world for the first time. And the thing, so I am thankful and blessed. So here's a company that I believe responded through our newsletter to be a beta tester. And Kerri is the owner of Black Island Coffee. And I have purchased the coffee through the website. I'm drinking Black Island coffee right now. We took it on vacation. It's really wonderful. And this is a relatively new business. And I would love for Kerri to join us and just kind of tell us about this transition that she has made in her own life over the last few years to then become the owner of Block Island Coffee. So I really want to welcome Kerri onto the show. And Kerri Gaffett, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you. Mainly, I mean, you're a beta tester. So first of all, we know that we really needed our beta testers. We needed to have that communication with the different companies and the different types of products. You know, the launch of a site like this, I was thinking yesterday, this idea that we had to take a directory of 2,000 businesses and allow those businesses to now sell on a marketplace sounds so simple in words. So, but I have to say it was sounded simple. It was not easy. And so I can't thank you enough for coming along with us on this ride and working through any and all issues. But first, I want to hear about your company. So, Block Island Coffee, please introduce your company. And your coffee is great.
Okay, so Block Island Coffee. I have my coffee cup here too. I just broke my favorite coffee cup about 2 weeks ago at the farmers market on Block Island.
Oh.
And I just had somebody watch my stand. I ran over to Emily's table, who makes and sells coffee cups on Block Island. And,
oh,
can I have a coffee cup? Can I buy a coffee cup? Can I trade coffee for a coffee cup? And
that's great. Yeah, I don't think I would survive without coffee.
Yeah, and I like keeping it local, so
absolutely.
I just wanted to add my coffee cup story as we use. So Block Island Coffee kind of discovered itself. Wasn't planning on opening a coffee company. Do you want? Let's see. The idea got planted by a friend of mine, a sailing friend of mine, who has a coffee company in Tortola. Her company is Caribbean Mountain Coffee, and I met her when I was circumnavigating with my kids and my husband. And when that hurricane hit,
wait a minute, back up. We can't just let that go by, right? Tell me about this new word that you've just coined for us.
Oh, I think I did make that up because I made that up. I started doing that about a year ago. I got divorced maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago. I was married for 25 plus years, and we just wanted different things. And we finished our traveling, and our kids fledged, and we got divorced. And I hate the word ex. I think it's too negative. So I think husband is better. So that's my way. I'm in a new chapter that does not include my husband. So
I really love that. I do hate the word ex too, and I always say my former husband.
Yeah,
but yeah,
husband works. It's
husband. I like it. I like it.
Really good, was wife. I guess you could use that, but so
sorry. Okay.
So that was kind of when my whole world started to shift. I was a carpenter for 25 years.
Wow.
Went to college. I grew up on Block Island. Went to college at Brown. Came back to the island. Started doing construction, to the embarrassment of my parents because I spent a lot of money to go to good school. But so that was great. That was a whole chapter. I raised my kids. I have 3 great kids that are mostly fledged. They're all in their 20s. I had one that went to California for 4 years too. So
wow.
Now she's on the East Coast, so that's good. But anyway,
where are your children located?
I have, let's see, right now I have a son who lives on Block Island, and I have a son who lives in North Kingston, and I have a daughter who's living with me right now, working bartending on the island so that she can pay to go to Columbia in September.
Ooh, nice.
But it will be in New York in a month. So
wow, that's very cool.
And they're all great, and they traveled with us, and that's how we met Libby, who so when the hurricane hit, I went to Tortola to teach a bunch of women how to do emergency repairs on roofs. And Libby said,
Wow.
"Can you sell my coffee?" I said, "How can I help? How else can I help?" Because their industry was devastated for
Right.
almost 2 years. And she said, "Well, can you take some of my coffee and market it on Block Island or in Rhode Island?" So she shipped me back with a bunch of coffee. I took it to some of the smaller stores in Rhode Island, and then I sold it at the farmers market, and sent all the money back to the people of Tortola.
Wow.
So that was my introduction to be in the farmers market. She didn't do that, and she encouraged me to start roasting and start my own brand. And she put me in touch with the farmers that she used in the Dominican Republic, because
Wow.
she lived in Luperon for a couple of years on her sailboat. We had been there with her, and she got to
Wow.
know all the coffee farmers, or some coffee farmers. And so the green beans, when I started to roast, I got from her.
That's wonderful.
And so I did that, and I went to the farmer's market. I just started really small. I went to the farmer's market. I was roasting in a excuse me, 1 pound roaster in my kitchen that first summer. And the next summer, which would have been the summer pre-COVID, I started to sell too much coffee, more than I could produce. So I started to blend my coffee with other roasters from New England, mostly from Rhode Island, but to get a different blend. So then that's Block Island Sunrise Blend. That's when it became.
So what I hear you saying is, like, all of a sudden your business is shifting at the same time. And I don't know if you had your own business doing carpentry work, but then were you all of a sudden doing sales of running a new business and being more involved in the sales of a product?
Yeah. So in the last 5 years, everything has shifted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went from being a carpentress to doing like small projects on my own. I worked, I first started helping other women who, mostly single women or divorced women, who wanted to work in their house and needed just some guidance. So I would go and I would teach them how to lay out a tile floor. And then I'd say, "Okay, let me know when the tile's done." And they'd do it, and they'd call me back in a couple of weeks, and then I'd show them how to grout, and then I'd leave them and they'd grout. And so I did that, kind of like teaching people how to do the work themselves. They couldn't afford to hire a carpenter, and they paid me a fee. So that was kind of blending. And then I went back to school when my daughter wanted to go to a mainland school. And so we moved to the mainland, to Wickford. And when she was going to school, I said, "I'm going to go back to college. I'm off island. This is my opportunity." I was still married then, and I got my master's in holistic counseling at Salve Regina, and I became a psychotherapist. And so, like, that's I do that now still. I have an office on Block Island. I have an office in Wickford. And then the coffee came into play, because it just kind of happened. It wasn't like, I'm going to build a coffee company. It just kind of grew, and it was fun. I loved the farmer's market. I loved meeting people. And then.
That's so cool, though. I think it's a great example of kind of letting what happens in the external circumstances of your life lead you forward, and taking advantage of, oh yeah, coffee. And then, oh, I'm going to do this because it's a combination of the interests that you have and the business sense, and that there's this product. I mean, I would venture to guess, like, you're an expert on the coffee stuff now, but it could have been really any product that showed up in that way.
Absolutely. It could have been anything. And I wasn't an expert on coffee. I love coffee.
Yeah.
When we were sailing, that was the fun of every country we came to. We'd like get their coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
But it wasn't like
I was born in Colombia, so I know coffee. That doesn't automatically make one an expert in coffee, but coffee is definitely. When we went to Colombia last year, we we did this whole like class on learning different coffees and understanding how to brew coffee. And yeah, it's been great.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the good thing I want to encourage people is like, you don't need to know anything. You just have to have a curiosity and ability to like try it. You know,
Yeah.
I had never opened my own business. I didn't even know the language. So just try. Just if you haven't, just try, and the rest will come. There's so much knowledge here. I got so much help. So I was ready to just stick with the small farmers market coffee. That was fun. I love talking to people. That's my favorite part of the job, is meeting people. And then,
which means you're probably a great therapist too.
It's fun. I feel really lucky.
Yeah.
In January, right before COVID hit, there was a Davidson works with Stop and Shop, and they reached out to me, and they had been directed products in Rhode Island for their Stop and Shop brand. So they asked if I would be interested in marketing Block Island coffee to them. And I said, sure, that sounds great. And they sent me all the information. I had absolutely no business knowledge, nothing. Like they said, like, well, we do POs and resets, and I said, I'm great. And as soon as I got off the phone with them, I was like, what is a PO? You know, thank God.
Doesn't that mean post office? Oh no, wait.
No, any of the and I just learned, and I started working with a company that could do private labeling for me. And that's how Block Island Coffee became a brand. And so that all started as COVID started, that big aspect of my business.
So it's even newer than I thought initially. Mm-hmm. I was thinking you were like a couple years in, and
not so really. Farmers Market was a couple markets in, but Block Island Coffee as a brand started. It was the brainchild was January of COVID. That's when COVID first started. So I like that we grew at the same time.
And it's funny because when Ben and I started the Business Over Breakfast interviews, it was one of the big questions that we would always ask is what happened during the pandemic? How did you address your business basically as the pandemic came and as things closed down? And what we did was we started this business community talking about Rhode Island businesses over breakfast or over coffee. And then the Shop Local directory began, and then now it's a marketplace. So it's interesting how this new community is being driven by something that was pretty negative.
Right. Yeah.
So what did you do, Ben? I feel like I'm monopolizing our conversation here, but okay. Yeah, because I'm like on my coffee now. So I just but I'm curious, like, so the pandemic comes and you're pivoting, but so in that period of time, I'll say like what we did was we went back into our homes, we created this directory, we created this community, and now part of our business is running a marketplace. I mean, Visual Thrive is a marketing organization, but it was the same. How do we use our skills to help the community and support other businesses? Mm-hmm. And so it's just wonderful that we get to meet in this way, because you jumped on to Shop Local Rhode Island, and I'd love to hear a little bit about your transition into being on the marketplace, mm-hmm. and your view of what this was like, just so that other businesses can really understand like what happened.
Right. So I jumped onto the marketplace. I got the email saying, we're looking for beta testers. And I thought, like, what's a beta tester? What exactly does a beta tester do? And like, I am insatiably curious. Like, it's like, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll learn as I go.
Great.
And so I had never done a beta tester. I had never been a beta tester for.
Hey, I hadn't either. Just so you know.
And so I signed up, and you guys reached out to me, and I just went through it. You guys sent me the links, and I sent you my feedback. It's been great. I think that because of COVID, this online market is like, it's where we all have to go right now. And that was where I started to, it wasn't like I had to shift into the online market because I started there basically. I got a ton of help from Venture Cafe District Hall, Providence. I just happened to run into Toonie when at the same time the Stop and Shop thing was going on. I just ran into her on the street. I'm sorry, that's my dog. And she totally lit a fire under my business and she was a resource that really helped me. In so many ways. And she also pushed me in your direction.
I think that's so great, because Toonie is the open door. I can make it happen. Here's the connection, like this ultimate connector of ideas and people and companies. And it's so wonderful and so important. Yeah, I love that. So here's a shout out, Toonie Shartner, District Hall. They have great programs every Thursday evening. They're bringing companies together. Go onto the website, District Hall, because they are bringing in such interesting topics. And I was really honored to be on one of their panels on the future of retail and what this online marketplace will be in the future for retailers that are small. So yeah, big shout out to Toonie.
Yeah, she was excellent. She put me in touch with somebody who helped me with my website, and somebody who helped me with my YouTube channel, and somebody put me in touch with people and I needed a ton of knowledge. I came in it not knowing anything about the business world. And what you need is resources and people that will like not look at you like you have two heads when you say, what's a PO?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand what you said.
Yeah. I heard many decades ago, the sign of a true professional is the one who can say, I don't know.
And I have said that a lot of times. And what I really want to get out to people, though, is there are so many people out here in Rhode Island that want to help you. There's so many people, and everybody was great.
Yeah.
And I got on I have a mentoring team now that was put up through them, where like I meet with them on the internet every 6 weeks, month, and like I just come to them and say like, okay, this is my question this month. How can you help me? How do I do this?
That's
great. You were one of those. So your Visual Thrive Marketplace is one of those. Like, how do I get my product to be seen more across the online marketplace?
Yeah.
And it's so funny that as we're doing this, I just got an order.
Really? From Shop Local?
I think so. Yeah.
So that was one of my questions. Like, so we ordered, obviously we're coffee drinkers and we like the whole bean coffee. So yeah, thanks. And so how are the orders? How are the sales?
Yeah, they're coming in. As soon as we launched Shop Local, I did get like a flurry of orders right away.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if after this podcast, I get a few more. My online market really slows down in this summer, but my Block Island market is really busy right now. So now on my website, I talked about wanting to broaden. So I'm selling to quite a few of the different cafes and restaurants on the island, bulk. And that's been great. And the farmers market on Block Island has been very busy. But come fall, the farmers market closes and the restaurants and cafes close. And the business, Block Island in-person business shuts down. So the online market is really important to me. That's what carries me the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and hopefully, you'll have this video and you can share the video and talk to people about what you're doing. I mean, part of what we're trying to do is interview the companies so that other people can learn about what what the company is about. And so
Mhm.
you'll have a YouTube link, and people can see your website. They can see where you are on Shop Local. I guess I would ask you on Shop Local, what was your biggest challenge for working with the team at Visual Thrive? Because we just met. I am going to
Yeah.
do another shout out to my amazing team, because I know Danielle is working 24/7 to get products and companies, and she knows the back end. But I totally preface that. But
Yeah.
um,
You guys were great. You were super
thanks. That's all I wanted you to say.
No, you really were. Like, you know, when I was doing the beta testing, I would come up as like, this is not working. I am totally stuck. And I would send an email or a text to mostly Nikki. I think it was Nikki. Is that right?
I don't know.
Anyways, the response back was almost immediate, which is great, because I hate it when you send a question out and then you wait an hour, and I'm on a different thing by an hour away.
Yeah.
So the response was really great. The website's easy to load. Once you get it down, it's really easy to load. When I first started, I was working with somebody from your team on my screen, so we had a split screen, and we posted
That was probably Danielle. Yeah.
together, and that was really helpful because she knew the the back
Right,
end,
right.
and I didn't, as I was learning. But
Yeah.
what I tell people is, like, you don't have to have an MBA. You don't have to have a ton of knowledge in computers.
Yeah.
You just have to be willing to ask questions and, like, keep at it.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of those, and I'm still learning every day.
No,
But as
that's
far as
great.
getting loaded, it was on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 5.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
Or
Because
maybe
one of the things that I say to everybody is, once you get the Stripe account and the Shippo account, so you're getting paid and getting things shipped, the product side, the product upload, the product stuff, from my perspective, seems simple.
Mhm.
You have your own little media browser. You can upload all the photos you want in there. It's just yours. You manage your own back end of your own shop. Like, I feel like it's those first two hurdles where we're saying to people, hang in there, it's okay. We're going to get you through this. And then once you get that streamlined, you're good. You're good to go.
Yeah, I had a little hiccup with Shippo, but I called their helpline, and I wasn't on hold forever. I was on hold for maybe 30 seconds, and they were super responsive. So that's always a breath of
Yeah.
fresh.
And because of the shipping, we have a dedicated customer service person now from Shippo for Shop Local Rhode Island, just because I'm old school and I like to get on the phone and talk to people and say, I can't chat with you anymore on the computer. Please call.
And I did it on the phone too. I did kind of like that too.
Ben, on the other hand, might be more apt to do the chat and not get on the phone, based on age, I think.
It depends on what the situation is, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So Kerri, how important is it, right? So, like, we just talked about Block Island being so seasonal. How important is it for you to have had these opportunities, these multiple streams of opportunities, to now extend that season for yourself, where it's not just brick and mortar? You're not just worried about selling to the businesses, restaurants, coffee shops on Block Island, but you're able to do a direct consumer version of this all year round, and to people outside of the island and outside of Rhode Island in general. Like, how important is that to you?
Well, it's super important, because that's what carries the business, half of the year. Last at Christmas time, there'll be more Christmas sales, and even now, as I see people say, like, go to my website, go to Shop Local Rhode Island, and you can buy my product there, and you can buy other Rhode Island products. And I, at the farmers market, I push that because I think we have to support our state. But it's really important. Like I said, online marketing is just so important right now. And this is a great marketplace. And like, then there are plenty of people out here who want to shop local. And to have an online marketplace where they don't have to leave their home, or they don't have to, there's still people out there that are very cautious about
Right.
leaving home because of COVID, and becoming more cautious now based on the new information. So the online marketplace, I think, is going to be crucial to keeping my business solvent in the off season. I guess that's
No, thanks for that. I also would love to say just to our audience that Shop Local Rhode Island or Visual Thrive, we don't take a percentage of the sale. So I think that that is an important piece, that most online markets will take a percentage of the sale itself. You are giving a percent to Stripe to get your money. There's like a 5-cent charge to Shippo, but Visual Thrive and Shop Local Rhode Island don't do that. We focus on memberships and sponsorships. So if you're, this is just to our audience, if you're thinking like, oh, this is, we're just trying to get products up so that we're getting a piece of the sale, that's not the case. So we want the money to run the platform and to do the marketing for the site.
I would say that the thesis behind Shop Local is not actually much different from a farmer's market.
right. It's just
Right?
an
Yeah.
online
It's just
market.
it's just a massive farmer's market that
Right.
that has
Yeah.
room for everything in Rhode Island, and
Yeah.
the comfort of
Market.
You know what, Ben?
Yeah.
That's so interesting that you say that, because I just talked to a company yesterday that we were thinking about this Amazon style, right? Like, and why did Amazon buy Whole Foods? And so, we want the Rhode Island markets and farmers markets to continue. And can they continue digitally? I mean, I know that there are companies doing that very well locally.
Mhm.
But yeah, it is the concept of being able to come back to community, but then keeping the money in the community and
Right.
building the community and having the community be economically,
Solvent.
robust and healthy. And yeah, I mean, it only enables schools and all sorts of community programs. So I think that, there's a big vision here, but Rhode Island is like the coolest place to start it.
Yeah, and I think being on Block Island is even more important because, like, in the wintertime, you can't always get product.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not. There are limitations to living in paradise, right?
Yeah.
The mail goes all the time. I can
Yeah.
put a mail in. I can put coffee in the mail every day.
Right.
Well, not Sundays, and if it's a no-go, it's usually only a day or two. So that's important to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's important to get orders that it just keeps going. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's
And it's
huge.
super simple. It's very simple once it's set up. It will, after we get off here, I'll bag up my coffee and put it in there. It will take me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Very simple to use.
So you're making $15 every 5 minutes.
if I were
maybe not every 5 minutes. I think the thing as we close, so Ben, sorry, you were going to say something.
No, I'm good.
Okay. I was thinking the thing as we close is this idea of be curious, jump in. You don't have to be an expert. There are so many people that want to help and have the knowledge and will help and will also jump in with you. So I think about like we're holding hands and we're both like jumping together, and we have this support system that we don't want to lose, and we won't.
Yeah, I was so surprised at how much help is out there in our tiny little state.
Yeah.
So much knowledge and so much available. And to put it out there, like I haven't taken any loans. I've grown this totally organically. And most of the help I got, I didn't pay a penny for.
Yeah.
People are wanting to help. So don't say like, well, I don't have any money for a startup, or I don't have knowledge. It is out there. All you have to do is ask.
Yeah. Yeah. I
and
mean, on the site, there are people doing jewelry and selling jewelry to gift shops, but they are also now selling on the site. And
yeah,
they're in their home doing their own craft and building their own expertise. So
and
I
be open.
really,
Be open.
and what?
Don't get stuck in one product. Like, I started with just my little roasting, and like, it's like, oh, I'm like, this is where the market is. This is what people want, and I think
Yeah.
now I'm moving into like wanting to, I do a custom blend bean for a couple of roasters on Block Island, the cafes on Block Island. So like Oddfellows wanted their own blend. So I worked with the store owner, and we made a blend, and we picked a name, and I made a label. And now there's like a Neptune blend that's specific to you can only get it at Oddfellows Cafe. So that's like, man, I would love to do that with some of the cafes in Rhode Island. That would be fun.
Yes.
I get to meet the people, and I get to like craft something and blend something for them that's just theirs.
Mhm. Oh, that's really
so-
great. That's
And
really
so
great.
that's now, and it might be different next year. But
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. It's so interesting. I love that. So I know I'm saying like, we're going to close and then we don't, and then we're going to close and then we don't. But I want to say one more thing. I think that another part of this is we are going to, we create a business profile based on what our discussion is about. So that post will now live on Shop Local Rhode Island. And you, again, are a beta tester, and you will be number one in this new branding for Shop Local. But that business profile and our discussion will now be in print, and you can take that print and put it on your website as well. So in this effort to create synergy, among these, anyone who reads that now will say, oh, okay, Block Island Coffee is doing special blends. Like, let me reach out and
make one for our cafe, right? And it's fun.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, fun. Let's have fun. Let's make a lot of money. That's the way.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome. Kerri,
Mostly have fun though. It's
mostly have
You
fun.
have to
Yes.
be making so you don't lose. I'm not going to do this when it's not fun anymore.
Right.
Life is too short.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And if you're having fun and you're enjoying it and you love what you do, then you're going to put out something that people are going to want, and the money part is going to take care of itself.
That's right. Right.
So,
and I'm proud of it. It's fun.
Yeah.
you should be. You should be, Kerri. Thank you so much thank you for joining us. Thank you for letting us know about this. My roommate is a coffee fiend, so I'm going to forward all of this information to her. I feel bad about saying this. I have not drank coffee myself in years, so I feel very bad saying that on this show. But I'm gonna definitely pass that along to her because I know that she's gonna love this. So
you might want to try out my decaf. A lot of people like
I will definitely try it. I've had sips of coffee, but I don't generally drink coffee. But I'm excited to try it. Absolutely.
Good.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
Great.
I've never done a podcast. This is the first anything like this I've done.
Oh, that's great.
So thank you. So easy.
How did we do? How did we do, Kerri?
Amazing. You just said we have to cut. It's like already.
I know.
Bye.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Really appreciate
it. Check out blockislandcoffee.com, and you can purchase 4 amazing varieties of Block Island coffee on shoplocalrhodeisland.com. Thank you, Kerri.
Yep. Bye.
Bye, Kerri. Have a great day.
Lori, how'd it feel to be back in the saddle?
Oh, it felt great. It felt great. See, because I'm like, God, I just want to keep talking about it.
I know.
I'm sorry about that. It was exciting because
no, don't be sorry.
I think that the thing that for me is that our beta testers were so important to us, and we needed them so much. I mean, you can't test something and you can't see if it's working, but you also have to say to these companies, you're jumping in with us and there are going to be challenges, and we know that there are going to be problems, and we're here for you. So it was so wonderful to just have, in the next few podcasts that we do in the future, we're talking to more beta testers and how their experience has been getting on the site and what their sales look like. And so I love to just hear that Black Island Coffee is having sales. I mean, and it's not just me buying them. So yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. That's incredible. Thank you for all of the hard work that you and the team at Shop Local are doing for the people of Rhode Island, for the businesses of Rhode Island. It's incredible, and I can't wait to watch it grow. Thank you for coming back and co-hosting this show with me. You can listen to episodes of this show the day after they air live on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere that you find podcasts. If you want to just listen to it in your car, so that would be available every Wednesday morning for new episodes. And of course, you can watch it live here if you are listening to the podcast and you're going back and watching. And then you can watch it live on the Shop Local Rhode Island Facebook page or YouTube. Go over and subscribe to the Shop Local Rhode Island YouTube, because I am sure that Lori and Scott and the team at Visual Thrive and Shop Local Rhode Island are going to be putting out a lot of awesome videos for these businesses and organizations. So that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. I would also say if you're too shy to get on a podcast or a video, you can always sponsor it, and we can do shout outs, and we are looking for sponsors. And so we want to talk about business. We want to talk about how Rhode Island is faring. And we're at a crux, right? We opened up, everything opened, everybody got happy and went out, and now we see this variant coming, and it's kind of, if we can rein it in quick, we stay on a good path, and we really want that for everybody. So let's support each other in the best ways we know how.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lori. I will see you next week.
Thank you, Ben. Bye. Bye, everyone. Great day.
Absolutely. Very, very, very great day.